Hi, this is Hugo. I'm one of the organizers of ArtTechRise with Izzy, who's leading Third Culture Creative, and I'm leading Gen Hacks. Together, we wanted to organize a hackathon for the oceans to help fund the fight for cleaning oceans from plastics. Thank you very much for joining, Izzy. How are you today? Would you like to explain a little bit why we're doing this?
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being a part of this. My name is Izzy Church, and I am from Third Culture Creative, and very excited to be working with Hugo from No Hacks on launching ArtTechRise. We are very excited to create hopefully an experience for people that will get them to donate to the cause of taking care of the oceans. I mean, this is something that we have all been hearing about for quite some time, that our oceans are filled with plastic. And I thought, as an artist and an artivist, that this was one way that I could help encourage other artists and donators to be a part of a cause.
Yeah, thank you so much, Izzy. So, can you tell us more, just very briefly, about the artists and the artwork that we'll use as inspiration for this hackathon?
Yes, so the art is actually a collaborative effort of myself and actually another artist named Maddie Austin. And we were part of a wonderful show called Art to Save the Planet that was in the Federal Reserve building. And the work was inspired by another show called Tides of Change, Waves of Hope, which was endorsed by UNESCO, which was all ocean focused. And then the Art to Save the Planet did have a primary ocean focus, but it also had the planet as well in mind with the artists submitting their work. So the artwork that you guys are going to be using for ArtTechRise is a fish that we collaborated on. It's an angler fish. They're not the cutest little fish, but they're at the bottom of the ocean. They have a little light that comes over because they're swimming so deep in the ocean. And this is the inspiration. So the digital artists are going to take this and they're going to create an amazing immersive experience that is going to act as a receipt for our donors. And we really hope that it will inspire them to donate to a good cause and help us clean up our oceans and yeah, just have a good hackathon, pilot hackathon. So.
Yeah, impact the world while having fun. So we'll see. Well, great. Thank you so much. We'll hear more about the challenges during the launch call, which will happen early next week, and hopefully with a few other speakers. And at that point, if you have questions about the details of what the experience should look like, or the game should look like, or what it should do, then we can discuss that at that point. But also before on the application, which will be open for you to use beginning on Saturday, on Oceans Day. So that's when you can join the application. You'll see you will be able to choose one of the challenges there. You can still change challenges afterwards. Within the challenge, you can then enter your information as a participant. You can join a team, you can begin chatting with other people in the team and us, and then feel like you are a bit more ready, with an idea. Whenever we have the launch call, you can ask us about that idea, and then you're ready to go. What can tech do? Well, tech can work at inspiring people. Art can work at inspiring people, and both together should be very inspiring. So we're hoping that in this hackathon, you'll find inspiration to inspire others with your tech skills, with your design skills, and that you'll be able to develop a 3D experience or a game that people will be able to take or play during July, which is the July plastic free month. So it's Plastic Free July, and we'd like to support Plastic Free July, the foundation, and the Ocean Cleanup. Both of them are really amazing nonprofits. We're going to come back to that. Let me share my screen and show a bit more about this process with you now. And this presentation that I'm going to share, you're going to be able to have beginning on June 8th and connect to our application. You'll see more in 1 second. So let me now switch to the details of what you're going to be doing in this hackathon as a participant. If you're a mentor and watching that, know that we also have a mentor's onboarding presentation, video, and experience on the application. Again, this is a pilot, so we're discovering lots about this process. We have developed the team, yes, and the application. Here are a few email addresses that you can reach us at, and there's another professional address for me a bit later in the deck. You can chat with us on the application beginning on June 8th. So, what's a hackathon? Some of you, sorry, never have participated in a hackathon before, and a hackathon is an event, usually 24 hours long. In our case, 2 weeks long, because our goal is to be able to develop a functioning prototype for a game or a 3D experience to inspire people. So we don't want just ideas and things that look really drafty. We want something that looks a little bit nice so that people feel engaged into donating to the causes. In the hackathon, you have teams, you have participants creating teams and building solutions that answer two challenges. So in our case, we have 4 challenges for participants, and we have one for mentors, which is to join and to help the participants. And who are participants? Well, you can be students mostly, but some are professionals as well, who want to just give back and support the cause. So 3D designers, AR, VR designers, or developers and content creators, game developers, game riggers, game animators, and others who can not have necessarily technical skills like these, but more project management or data, etc., etc. Mentors are mostly seasoned professionals, employees at sponsoring companies, or not, and just people who want to give back but have less time than those who can participate. When you participate, you commit to about 2 hours a day. When you mentor, you commit to 1 hour or 3 hours, all in all. So here is something you can share with Slack groups or LinkedIn groups or Discord communities. So it's a GIF, as you can see, that does explain a little bit about the process for game developers. And we have more here that you can pick in this presentation to share with game riggers, with AR/VR designers, with 3D designers, and with mentors, potentially. So feel free to pick this and share that with your communities. And welcome to this hack. There's a few important points. First, communication, super important. Knowing what the next sub-events are. I did a very bad job inviting you in advance to these onboarding calls, so now I need to record and share that with you. There are many sub-events for you to be able to connect with each other beyond the application, and you can access that through the calendar tab in the application. It's important to meet mentors. I'll come back to that. And you might be interested in getting credentials for what you're doing. And for that, we give you certificates, you give each other badges, and you produce videos that we can then share, as well as your stories and your pitch events and the fact that you win or you're a laureate and a finalist in this hackathon on social media to support you. So for the first part, communication, mostly through the application. We developed this application with a WhatsApp-like or Slack-like capacity to speak by channels. So there is a private channel for your team, there is a whole hackathon channel, and there are conversation channels that you can create, or chats that you can create between you and I, between you yourselves, between different people. For the calendar tab, it's just about looking at this tab from your dashboard and registering to sub-events and then adding them on your personal calendar on Google, for instance, or Outlook. There's also a link for you to add the whole set of sub-events if you prefer. And there's a team tab where you can join a team or see other people in the team in your challenge. And then once you have joined a team, you can access to that private chat channel, but you can also create tasks from your dashboard so that it's easier to track who's doing what and all of that from this application that we created. You can meet mentors because there is a mentor tab. On that tab, you see the list of the mentors. We'll see how many we have. I don't think there's plenty mentors for that hackathon, but there should be a few nice skills for you to leverage to help you understand what to do, to just talk, to motivate yourselves, because it's remote, so it's important to have communication within the team and with the mentors. If there's any issue, please let me know, and I'll try to activate you to be there for you every day, of course. And then for the certificates and badges, you can have a look at that later. Please follow us on LinkedIn, please follow us on Instagram, and share the news, and don't hesitate to use these gifts that you've seen a bit earlier. So welcome again. Let's see where we go together on this boat. And first of all, join the app. So I'll share that, and you'll be able to just click there to join the app. I will also send you an email with the link, etc. Once you have joined and selected a challenge and then entered your information, and finally you are on the dashboard as a participant, you can join a team, and you can also take this onboarding presentation and onboarding 15-minute experience that you take. You'll see there's a button on your dashboard, and that will help you have a bit more information as well. Once you're on, well, it's about engaging with mentors, with your team, saying hi, introducing yourself in the main general channel, and going to the calendar right away to see which sub-events you'd like to attend and when, and add them to your calendar. So here is a bit more about the organizers, sponsors, and these companies supporting us. ArtTechRise is the brainchild nonprofit of Third Culture Creative and Gen Hacks, and we wanted to impact the world. So both our companies, Easy's and mine, are for profit, but we want to support causes, and the donations are going to go to the causes and a little bit to the artist. But we try to make more than 70% for the causes. There's going to be a fee for organizing all that, to pay for the people who help us. But it's a minor, less than 10% of the donations. And this is how we want to make it repeatable. In the future, we should have sponsors beyond ourselves, and maybe some of these companies that you see here will make the leap and support us, or others. And we're very happy to have the support of Unity, who shared the news internally and is providing us with a few links to their resources to learn, to understand how to create a game, etc. So there's a few resources that Unity shared a bit further in this slide deck. Pioche is a platform for you to create blockchain-based certifications, and this is how we are going to enable you to certify that the certification that we give you is accurate. In terms of the challenges, just a quick review here. Challenges are what you are going to try to solve, and Izzy and I created 4 challenges so that we can support the beneficiaries: the Ocean Cleanup and PlasticFreeJuly.org. The Ocean Cleanup is a nonprofit that is remarkable because it is engineering solutions for cleaning oceans at scale from plastics. So initially it was a teen, I believe, who created this nonprofit and created a tool for boats to gather plastic and to remove plastic from the oceans, specifically on the plastic islands, all these patches of plastic that gather and whirl in the ocean and create islands, floating islands of plastic. So there's lots of progress made thanks to that nonprofit. And there's also an action they have on rivers so that plastic stop flowing into oceans. And then we support Plastic Free July, which is an Australian nonprofit dedicated to funding and organizing events for cleaning plastic from beaches. So Plastic-free July. Why July only? No, it's just a matter of thinking about the beach and the ocean when we are sunbathing and surfing, maybe in Australia for some of us. So, four challenges. I'm gonna get into not the detail, but just a review of the challenges. We have one challenge that is maybe the simplest to create an interactive narrative experience for people to be inspired by art, by, this anglerfish and what you can make of it in 3D. A second challenge is to make that an augmented reality installation. More details here and on the website. Third challenge is about educational game that is voice activated, where you can, through ChatGPT or whatever, communicate with the experience as someone who wants to get inspired by it. And then the fourth one is the 360-degree virtual reality experience. There's a lot of VR around us, so if we can create something that is engaging on a VR headset, that'd be really amazing. That could be a small game as well. We're talking short experiences here. It should still be fun. We don't want to develop anything super long, so it does require a lot of work, though, to create something even short that is engaging. All right, so I'll let you discover a bit more about all that and talk about it on the launch call. Ask any question if you want before the launch call to Izzy and I on the application whenever you get there. Working with mentors, that's going to be very important for you. Why? It's a remote event. So engagement, ability to communicate, ability to get inspiration and motivation from people who have more experience than you or are there with an external eye for you is really important. They register on the app as well through their own challenge. You'll see that on the main page. And they register for either 1 hour or 3 hours. If they choose 1 hour, then they can be booked for 4 sessions. If they choose 3 hours, then they can be booked for 12 sessions with you. And whenever the amount of sessions is achieved, then you cannot book them anymore. So in the mentor tab, you will see this list of people with a book icon. And if you button, sorry. So if you click that button 4 times, then the person is not booked. So this is how this works. Once you have booked a mentor, sorry, through that button, you still need to connect with him to chat. We will integrate that later in the application. But you will need to go to the chat tab and find that mentor and ask for when that mentor is available for you to speak. Right, so we don't have an integration of Calendly yet or anything like that. It's going to come soon, but it's not there yet. And just for you to know, the mentors are also invited to judge your solutions in the end. At the end of the hackathon, on June 24th, you will have added your solution. If you're a finalist, if you're finishing something, you're gonna add your solution. I'm gonna come back to that. And the mentors are gonna be able to see that. They're gonna have a list of criteria and they are going to give you a score. And so it's great if you can connect with them. Potentially during the launch event, again, using the mentor tab and then booking the mentoring session on the mentor tab and then scheduling the call with them one-on-one or with the rest of the team of yours through the chat tab. This is an example of a message that you can send. And if you have any issue, of course, you can feel free to connect with me on the app, on WhatsApp, and by email. So what are solutions? That's what you are building as a team. And in a solution, there's 3 elements that are needed. There's going to be a pitch deck, a video, team video, and optionally personal videos, and then code or data repository or the 3D experience that you have built. And we will just note that everything that is built is open source, so we can use it for the benefit of the nonprofits that we want to support, right? So for the pitch deck, what do you need here? Well, you can have a few sample of ideas here. First, begin with your team and who you are, right? But then explain the pain points that you're addressing, the value of your solution, the features of that solution, and switch to a demo, a few screenshots. And there's no need for business model here, I believe, except if you want to explain maybe how much people should give when they see that, or if you want to compare that to other inspiring models for donations, maybe. So feel free to bring more into that slide deck, right? In the videos, the team video is the most important one for sure. So you can explain why you're doing your solution, and you demo. So there's two parts in it, maybe 1 minute each. All in all, it should not be more than 2 minutes long, because you want to keep the attention of people who are judging you at this point. They see your team video, so they're gonna give you a rating. You want to engage them, you want to be brief, but you want to be to the point. You're gonna add personal videos or just audio recordings introducing who you are and what you've done so far and what you've done specifically in that hackathon. That's going to be very useful for you as well for the rest of your career, because there's more and more of these video intros whenever you look for a job. And then the code or data repository for your solution. So specifically here, the game that you might have developed, or the 3D experience that you've developed, if it's recorded, it's another issue. We'll see how to use that, but it should be interactive for people to engage in these experiences, so that we understand that they have seen the experience, and we can track that they have given as well. We'll come back to that later. But this is the code and data repository, and this is part of your solution. A bit more here about the personal videos. Make them short as well, 40 seconds, 40, 60 seconds, and even less than that sometimes, 15 seconds, just a few words. Usually a sentence is 8 to 10 seconds, so make it short. For the jury criteria, there's 4 kinds of criteria. Do you have a full solution package that the judges can see? First of all, the designs, code, and data. Second, the video, the team video, I mean, specifically. And third, the slide deck that pitches your solution. If you don't have everything here, you're going to have a less good note than if you had everything. Then the wow factor. How impressive is your solution in terms of code and in terms of presentation and design? It is also how you communicate that makes you successful in life, of course, right? It's not only the tech aspect or the design aspect, it's how you explain why it's important that you did it this way. Challenge understanding is important, so you need to explain what the problem was and what your solution is doing to solve that problem. So if you really explain that, then it's also adding to the wow factor, by the way. And then in the end, the code or the design or the experience that you have developed, is it functional? How is it developed, etc. You can share more about all that, and the jury will have a look at that and give you the ratings in function. And that's it. What's happening after the hackathon? Well, we can be there to support you with a process that we've developed that's called Apply With. I'll come back to that. It's very inexpensive, but it enables you to create connections that are meaningful with different companies where you could find a job. And this is a great way to network. With other things, we can help you with advice whenever someone, or a company who might be sponsoring requests you to apply for a job. Then we don't have sponsors right now, but if we had, we would ask you to let us know so we can support you and you're ready. Then there's potentially a hack night coming up. I can come back to that. And now some resources. Don't forget that part, which is the last one in this presentation. We're almost done. Special resources shared by Unity. You can discover what they've done for the planet, and it's very interesting and fun. You can see a lot more about the Unity products and learning programs they have on their website, and also lots of great links to synthesize everything here with the document that's linked in position number 3. And then the fourth link is for you who have never made a game before. You can do something with Struct, which is something that Unity is inviting you to discover and might change in the future quite soon. For ArtTechRise, those who'd like to find inspirations for what to design, what to develop, something that works well on Instagram, right? So we saw a few things that inspired us, and we wanted to share that with you. And this is one of the purposes of this ArtTechRise resources document that is linked here. Then I'm going to go quickly, but you have typical tools that you can use in hackathons for file sharing, for wireframe making, for project management. You also have the application with the Trello-like capability, image editing, etc. And if you have to develop no code, bubble.io is great. If you have to develop slides, you can use SlideBean and then Adobe. And for more things here, you'll be able to discover, GitHub, Bitbucket, etc. And that's it. Any questions, let me know. I'm here. You can join me there. Feel free to let me know whenever you have a question. Have a great rest of the hack, and see you soon on other sub-events. Goodbye.